may be difficult.
Okay. Now, in a child, is it possible for one to detect hearing loss or degrees of deafness before the age of speaking? Can a parent know that this child has a problem with his ears?
Yes, there is something we call ear screening. We have high-risk pregnancies for one reason or the other. Once there is high-risk pregnancy, the sort kind of baby should be screened at birth. Then if there is a hearing problem, it could be detected. Or a child that is born with birth asphyxia or neonatal jaundice or all sorts of injuries during birth, so that child should be screened. But no screening practice here.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, do we have screening facilities in Nigeria?
Individual has, but in government hospitals, we don't have.
Are these screening facilities so expensive, or?
They are not expensive. But I think it's just the policies,
okay,
which need to be corrected.
Do you think that screening of hearing ability should be incorporated into primary health care?
It should be, and it must be. Reason is that a child with congenital hearing problem, if detected on time, something could be done. Something could be done on time in form of either to first of all see what is the degree of hearing problem, either to fix in hearing aid if it is a kind of hearing problem that is not correctable by medication or by drugs, which means it's a permanent hearing problem. So that kind of child may need a hearing aid or cochlear implant. Okay. Otherwise, if it is not done, and this has to be done, cochlear implant or whatever, before the age of 2,
to be effective.
To be very, very effective. Otherwise, if it is not done, anything outside that age, learning to speak, to hear, become more difficult because the neurons, the structures that are involved in somebody learning how to speak and hearing, will start degenerating.
Okay, we'll come back to treatment, implants, and prevention. But right now, we have to go on a break. We're about to go on a break. When we come back from the break, your calls and your comments.
From one nation to another, there must be a meeting point. Their ideas may be different, but they must work to agree on what's best for the people. Diplomatic Channel untangles the discussions to bring out what's really important. Because it is our world, and it's our right to know how their decisions affect us.
You're welcome back to Health Matters. We're still discussing deafness and hearing loss with Dr. Atilade Adegbiji. At this point, you can call in, make your comments or ask your questions. The number to call is 012206-842. That's 012206-842. Now, Doctor, we're talking about implants. We're talking about hearing aids. First of all, do we have this service here?
We have. But mainly, we have them in private setups.
Okay.
Many are not found in government hospitals, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. After having said that now, does a hearing aid restore the hearing back to what it ought to be?
No. What hearing aid does is just an amplifier.
Okay.
Rather than you shouting for somebody who with hearing impairment to hear you, then the amplifier does the work to increase the intensity of your speech.
Okay.
So that the fellow can hear very well. That is the function of...
But I would think that if the sound is amplified, then it could be amplified to what it should be normally.
Yes, that is what the hearing aid does, to increase the intensity, so rather than people shouting or something, so the fellow can hear at normal level.
Okay.
But the damage, which is already there in the ear, the hearing aid cannot restore it.
Okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. I think we have a call coming in. Who is that? Is that pt.2? Please give us your question or your comment. We're listening.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hello. Yeah.
Please, I want to ask doctor about a child that cannot speak on time at age 1. Age 1, it's like the child is having a hearing defect. So what can we do to help child?
Okay, doctor, over to you. What do you do with a child who's up to the age of 1 and cannot speak, and it seems like he's having a hearing problem?
Yes. Firstly, is to rule out the hearing problem, to see that there is no hearing problem in this child. And what do? Take such kind of child to see an ENT surgeon, who will now make the assessment. From there, carry out some tests on the hearing to see what is the hearing level. It is after ruling out that that child can hear very well. We have special machine which we call audiometer,
Okay.
of various type, both for children and adults. So after carrying out this test, then we can now say, okay, this child is hearing very well or it's not hearing very well. So if the child is hearing very well, then we now see what are the other causes of this child not being able to talk at age of 1 year or call names.
Okay.
But firstly, to rule out hearing problem in that child.
Okay, let's quickly go to prevention before we go to any other thing. What can we do as people to prevent and reduce the occurrence of hearing loss and deafness?
Yes, in this way, prevention of hearing problem, from what you have said, you have limited it to what can we do as an individual.
That's right.
But prevention of hearing problem is outside individuals alone. We talk about individuals, we talk about the community, what can the community do? We talk about what about the stakeholders can do, then when we talk about what are the things that government can do.
Okay, so let's start from the individual.
So
Let's
from
just-
individuals.
A minute, we'll come to that. We're having another call coming in. Hello.
Good afternoon, the presenter and the doctor.
Okay, I can hear you, Ola.
It's Ola calling from Barada.
You're welcome, Ola. Please ask your question.
I have a daughter who is 6 years old. She's having challenges with her hearing, and after a series of tests, they recommended that we get her hearing aid. But my problem is, after the test, there was nothing like testing the hearing aid if you eventually get the hearing aid, how effective it will be. And those things are very costly. Getting them is not the issue, but how effective can they be at that age of 6? So I would like doctor to share more light on that for me.
Thank you, Ola. Okay, doctor, over to you. How effective can a hearing aid be for a 6-year-old child?
6-year-old child. Yeah, the first thing, hearing aid acquisition and usage, it's not like buying bread along the counter and you start eating. It's not as easy as that in some cases. You still need rehabilitation. You still need to see the audiologist or the ENT surgeon who provide the hearing aid. So on how to use, because a 6-year-old child, put the hearing aid there, you feel uncomfortable, remove it, throw it away. Most especially in the ear type or behind the ear type.
Okay.
If it's not the bone anchoring type, then even after that, you still need rehabilitation. That is just what I just want to say.
So they have to be regular visits
They have to be
the
regular
doctor.
visit to the doctor.
And she has to be taught.
She has to be taught. And also in that process, you'll be able to see, is the hearing aid really appropriate or not appropriate?
Okay.
Because when People comes, oh, I have hearing problem.